What's up guys, Brandon here, let's go. So in this video I'm going to teach you how to trade in your sleep. You're probably wondering, in your sleep? How? How is that even possible? The act of trading itself doesn't really take up a lot of time. It is everything that leads up to you taking the trade is where the time really passes, where the time is really exhausted. If it is you do everything that you're supposed to do before you take the trade and you do it correct, think about it. Your risk is managed, your stop loss is set, you know the direction or have a very good idea of the direction that the market is going to go, you enter the trade and everything is in order. What else is there to do? What else is there to do? Go to bed. There's nothing else to do. Once you're in the trade, just let the trade do what it has to do. Another benefit of trading in your sleep is, if it is you're stopped out of your position, you can't revenge trade, you can't do anything. You can't, you're sleeping. You ever stop to think about how you feel when you're actively looking at these trades? You know, you sit down and you're watching and you zoom and you're watching. You come here and you turn it upside down and all of these different things, and it's like, what am I doing? Why am I constantly looking at this trade? You know, they say time flies when you're having fun, but if it is you sit down and you look at time, it tends to not necessarily move nearly as quickly as it would have if it is you're doing something else. I don't know about you, but I enjoy sleeping. Let's check this Ftmo account here, boy. How much? $8,000? Nah. Me close these trades. Right. Nice. Close. 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 So last night I would have produced one or two analysis on some CHF related pairs. I would have taken the trades. I would have set my stop losses, made sure my risk was managed, and I went to bed. And I woke up this morning with plus 80 pips. I closed all of my trades already, so I'm good to go for the rest of the day. But let's hop into my computer really quickly so that I can show you what it is I was looking at. Alright, so we're in my computer very quickly. We're going to take a look at some of the CHF pairs that I would have taken advantage of last night. It is 9:45 in the morning here in beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. And I literally just woke up probably about an hour ago, give or take. And I want to show you what it is I was looking at on AUD CHF, NZD CHF, and I didn't call this one, but I also took a trade on USD CHF, which is where the bulk of the pips came from. But I digress. So I first want to talk about AUD CHF. So overall on AUD CHF, you all know, again, I am a momentum-based trader. I do utilize momentum. So overall, you can see AUD CHF is obviously bearish. It's overall bearish. It's going down. It's currently also very much bearish, not necessarily using the trend lines, but you can see here very beautifully producing lower highs, and more lower highs. You also have at present an ECR, which is my signature setup. And right around this area, right here in particular is where I would have taken my sell on this black candle close here, and it did give me a bit of drawdown, but I did have a 10 pip stop loss as I usually would, and it went overnight. It went about 30-ish pips in my favor, but I ended up closing it around 12 pips or so up at this area, because this is the point at which I woke up. So this is about 12 pips or give or take on AUD CHF. The very next trade that I had an analysis on was NZD CHF, and it was a similar situation. Now this one didn't give me as much, but I literally took it. I closed it right around this area for about another 12 pips. But let's talk about the overall analysis again. You can see overall on NZD CHF that it is overall bearish, right? It's overall bearish. At present, it's also currently bearish, creating lower highs, and even more lower highs. There's a bearish ECR, but I didn't get to take this here because this would have been at and around the previous D. Now, I actually took the trade. I took the sell right here, and this was my 10 pip stop loss, and I woke up somewhere around this general vicinity, and I closed it right there because I realized that, you know, throughout the course of the entire night, even though it did not stop me out, it didn't necessarily go very far.
which tells me that I don't think it wants to go very far. So I closed it. So I closed this for another 12 pips, give or take. And the very last setup that I would have taken advantage of, I didn't call this in my analysis channel, but I did have an analysis on this, is USD CHF. I even told someone in a group actually that I believe USD CHF was going to go all the way to the floor. And that is because on USD CHF, this is a slightly different variation on what it is I do by virtue of, you have to understand, if there is a reversal, then the likelihood of the market continuing with that reversal is very, very prevalent. It's very, very high. I have a saying, I only go against the momentum, which is what you would have seen in NZD CHF and AUD CHF. Those are momentum-based trades or continuations, as I call them. I would only go against a scenario like that if a reversal is absolutely clear. In this case, you can see the exact same thing happening on USD CHF. It's happening here. It did the same exact thing here, where you have USD CHF produced your very obvious bull trend, trapping traders in the trend, right? And you can see traders are trapped in the trend right here. They would have been buying in all of these different gray zones that I am buying at here now, or that I have these gray zones here, right? And lo and behold, the last trap would have been right here. And then, so remember, traders are buying in these zones here, and their stop losses will be right below the zones, most likely. And then the dealer goes up and he creates this absolutely beautiful M pattern, and you can see what that M pattern looks like this. All right, beautiful M pattern. M pattern tells us that the likelihood of a reversal is very, very high. So what happens? Then you have, again, my signature setup coming in clutch here. Now this would have taken you out, but it would have absolutely produced your reversal. And then what I would have said is, seeing as I know or have a very good idea, a very good understanding of the structure of the market, I have a very good idea that USD CHF is going to continue to try to go back to these zones in which the masses are buying, because that's where the liquidity is. I said that, you know what, I'm going to look for signs that USD CHF is going to continue in the bearish direction. My entry was actually on a bearish ECR on the 1 minute time frame. All right. And if you don't understand the ECR, this might be a little confusing, but my entry was actually right around this general vicinity here. And I had a 10 pip stop loss. And as you can see, USD CHF, I closed it right around here, 66 pips. So I'm up 66 pips on USD CHF, 12 on NZD CHF, that's 78. And then I'm up another 12, give or take, on AUD CHF, which is about 90, right? About 90 pips, give or take. Now, assuming you are trading the Ftmo challenge or you are an Ftmo funded trader, congratulations if you are. Assuming you are, and you're risking 1%, if you risk 1%, these three trades would have afforded you the ability to make upwards of about $8,000, maybe even $9,000 last night, give or take. And that's last night. That's last night. 1% per trade. Think about that. And if I'm just saying, if it is you only wanted to risk 1%, not take all of these trades, and you just wanted to take one of them would have given you back a little more than 1%. Two of them actually would have given you a little more than 1%, which is AUD CHF and NZD CHF. And then USD CHF would have given you back upwards of 6% from a 1% risk. And that is all while I am sleeping. And the advantage to this is, if I was wrong, guess what? I'm unable to do anything. I'm unable to, get into my emotions and go and try to revenge trade and look for another entry because I'm sleeping. I don't know what's going on, right? My risk is managed. So if it takes me out, it takes me out. It is what it is. And in the case like what happens here, guess what? I wake up to profit. I wake up and the work is already done. The work is already over. I'm not going to sit down and stare and look at each and every single candle form so that I can I can watch what is going on with the market while it is happening. What I have found is when I am doing that and I am actively looking at the market and looking at each and every single individual candlestick forming, I tend to get into my emotions a little bit, or a little more than I would like to. And what happens is I sometimes might get a little scared if I see a candle too big and it starts to pull back, and I close out the trade prematurely. You don't want to do that. So for me, in my opinion, this is the most effective way that I approach the industry, approach the trading industry, the markets and all of that. And it has worked for me for years. I have been doing this for years. So yeah.
Just like that, I'm done trading for the day. I'm free to spend the rest of my day however I so desire. And this is how I think you should be trading. I think you should trade in a manner that is in alignment with how you want to live life. We come into this industry and claim that we want financial freedom and freedom of our time. Yet, we become slaves to the very thing that's supposed to save us from our slavers. Maybe you aren't comfortable with sleeping while you're trading, and I understand that. Not everyone is at a point or at a level at which they are comfortable to literally go to bed and leave a trade open. But the same effects can be achieved by simply setting the trade, making sure everything is under control, your risk is managed, your stop losses are placed, and everything is under control, and you walk away. How many times throughout the course of the day, and I want you to be honest with me on this, how many times throughout the course of the day would you be in a trade and every 3, 5, 10 minutes you're unlocking your phone to check on the trade? You only, right? Come on. Doing that is actually making you more anxious than you need to be. Alright guys, so that being said, I hope that this session would have made some sense to you. I hope that you would have learned something or grabbed something. If it is you like this video, be sure to leave a like. It does help me a lot. It does allow the YouTube algorithm to let more people like this be able to see the video. Comment below, do you think you'll be able to trade while you're sleeping? Let me know. I'm genuinely curious to know if it is you are able to do this, or if you think you're able to do this. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell, and don't be afraid to reach out to me at Ikata Trading. If it is you have any further questions, you can contact me directly on Telegram, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you want to contact me. And yeah, see you in the next one.